So Joe's going to be breaking first. Let's see how this comes out. Yeah, this is not the start that Joe wanted. And joined back again by Mr. Simon Webb. Simon, you had a little bit of a break, but I know you were eyeballing that match. That was incredible, was it not?
Yeah, I joined it at the right time. I was keeping an eye on it. Obviously, we've got this venue is fantastic here in Louisville, Rail Yard Billiard and Sports Pub. It is fantastic. There's venues, there's screens in every corner of the venue.
Right.
You cannot miss what's going on.
And on every single one of those screens, the Louisville Shootout is being broadcast.
It's been broadcast everywhere, and yeah, I mean I kept an eye on it all the way through. The quality, I mean, there wasn't a ball missed, I don't think, in the whole match. Both players, I always feel tough for the player that loses, especially because I think Sam's he's a great kid. He's 18 years old. He's already, one of the best players around, and he's just got a massive future in the game. But even then, it's going to hurt when you lose. And I said to him yesterday when I spent some time with him that, unfortunately, you're going to have to. He already does it, but unfortunately, you're in a sport where, and everybody that plays sport for a living, got to deal with some losses, and he does. To be fair, he does it really, really well.
He's a very good bounce back guy. He forgets all the bad almost immediately.
Yeah.
So that's pretty phenomenal.
But I came back to watch the back end of it, and that six ball was absolutely incredible. It really was. I thought Sam was going to. Strangely, he's setting 24 and change. Well, disappointing considering it should have been sub 20.
Yeah.
So for Tom to, but I mean, if you'd said to me that 24 and change was going first from Sam, he's winning it for me. I didn't see Tom beating it. Tom's not the quickest of the six ball, six red as we have in the UK. Somewhere in the mid 20s is probably his limit, and maybe the quickest he's ever done.
That was a very, very odd miss there from Joe. But just to touch a little bit more on what you said there, I know for a fact that Sam didn't put up a good time in his first 31,
yeah.
And when he came back, he made a ball on the break. He missed the ball that would have put him right at 20 or under.
Yeah, I think it was going to be. I was thinking sub 20 when he was down on the shot, but even if he ends up with 20 and change or something like that, he's going to win it. So you can feel a little bit hard done by that. 24 is going to be enough to win most. Certainly on the US tables. Over in Europe, English pool, the top guys are setting low 20s now.
Yeah.
We do see some in the sub 20, but that's the quickest we've seen. But that's the two quickest we've seen in competitive play, and quite incredible, really.
Yeah, it was a great match, and it's. We talked about this earlier. It's hard to go from such a high-octane match to starting the next one, but we do have a good match here, and we've seen a couple of weird shots already, a couple of mistakes from Joe, a mistake from Cleve. So we're kind of starting back over at 0, and I'm sure we're going to ramp up the drama as we go along.
And these two very, very good players. I mean, Joe beat Tom Cousins twice in Denver in the Open last time we were in action, and that tells you his level. But we've seen more mistakes in this match. Well, we've seen 4 times as many mistakes in this match as we saw in the whole of the previous match.
Yeah,
I think it's an interesting one. This for me, for Joe. Forget about the statuses and stuff. Cleve is an ultimate pool professional, but you have to earn the right to be there. Joe plays as an amateur, even though he essentially, he's trying to play, trying to earn a living from the game. So he essentially is a pro. But I think most people would have Joe down as the favourite for this match that know them both. Joe certainly would, which is the important bit of what I'm about to get to. And I think if Joe was playing Sam or Tom, he's just playing pool. But I think there's more to this than that. I think he is almost something more on it subconsciously for Joe, more so than Cleve, I think.
Almost like he has something to prove.
Yeah, definitely something to prove, because there's no doubt that when Ultimate Pool USA began, and Cleve came over, and he's obviously been embraced by the American pool community, and then Joe comes over, and not that he's not been embraced, but he wanted to be part. He wanted to be where Cleve was. Cleve was already getting the shootout invites. He was already there, and I think he won. He was kind of like, well, hang on a minute. I think I'm a better player. And why am I not getting this? And he's had to earn it. And all credit to Joe for that. He's gone away and he's made 2 finals back to back, and he deserves everything that comes his way because of it. But
not to say that either player hasn't done both, but Cleve's gotten here because he's earned the fans and the people want to see him.
Absolutely, in a different way for sure.
Then Joe has earned it in good play. So it's,
But pool players have egos. This may not be news to anybody. Pool players have egos, and I think there's no doubt about it that there's a bit on this for Joe.
And we've seen a couple mistakes already, several mistakes actually.
Yeah.
So I think maybe in the back of his head, Joe. Every time I've seen Joe play, he's played worry-free pool, and that's what you want to play all the time.
Yeah.
But you can't always play worry-free pool. Sometimes it means a little more to you.
Yeah. And I think that's the biggest thing is the challenge, the psychological challenge here for Joe. I think he's in danger of not playing the level that he's played in previous matches with Ultimate Pool USA because of his opponent in a strange way.
Yeah, this is going to be almost a battle of attrition as far as the way they're playing, because Cleve obviously doesn't want to lose to somebody that he feels like he's the pro and Joe's the amateur, but Joe definitely wants to prove that he can beat him. So it's really interesting. It's a good story. And
I think it's more than that. Oh, I mean, it's a poor shot from Joe. It really is.
And Joe hasn't been as strong on this Brunswick table. I've seen him make more mistakes on this table than he did in Colorado, maybe as a whole.
What a gift for Cleve, though. What a gift to be given. And he's going to take the opening racket.
Well, and he should feel really happy with it because this was almost an 8-minute rack. And granted, he'd be facing the Tom Cousins, who's just faded 2 very tough matches. But he would be thriving at the opportunity.
Well, he'd be in the semi-final of a big tournament with Ultimate Pool USA. He'd be in the prize money. He's already had to deal with one factor that he hadn't won on the shootout. Now he's done that. Now it's get yourself in a semi-final, and you're playing in the #1 Ultimate Pool Pro, but that's not there's worse places to be. The semi-final.
And winning that first match could be a little bit, for Cleve at least, a turnaround in his mind. He knows he hasn't been playing his best, and he knows that everybody else knows that he hasn't been playing up to par. But maybe that was a little bit of a push him in the right direction type of win.
Be an interesting one for Tom Cousins in terms of, I mean, he lost to Joe. He didn't miss a ball in either match, but he lost to Joe twice in the Open, as we've talked about in Denver. What was that, 6-7 weeks ago? And that would be fresh in the memory. So with that in mind, he may not ever say it out loud, but does he want to get a little bit of payback, or does he want to have Cleve Thompson? That'd be an interesting one.
Yeah, and obviously Tom is very, very forgetting of the fact that Joe has a couple wins over him, but in the back of his head, it could play a little trick on him. Maybe wanting to win more because he knows Joe has 2 wins over him, and it can force mistakes. Anything can happen. The mental game is a huge part of pool, and all these little things trickling in can cause crazy things to happen. It's going to be an interesting one nonetheless, but this battle here between Cleve and Joe is not of the highest quality compared to what we've seen before. They're both making a lot of mistakes.
I think Cleve thought he could just turn that one over. He didn't have the potting angle. Was there a better safety? Possibly. He's left it wide open. Obviously the 10 ball's a problem, but Well, I was about to say Joe's got the perfect angle to deal with it straight away, but hasn't.
Huh. This is interesting for me because this might be the worst I've seen Joe play. No offense to his opponent, but it might be the worst I've seen him play against the lesser opponent that I've seen him play.
Yeah, it's kind of what I was referring to. You know, I think he's under it because he's playing Cleve, and there's more to this than just a normal pool match. Which makes it fun for us, though.
Yeah, it does
makes it fun for us. We can sit back and enjoy the fireworks, hopefully, that we might end up seeing.
I'll tell you what, guys. You ever get a chance to become a commentator, do it. You get the best seat in the house, and you really get to enjoy the match. That's the best thing about sitting in this chair. Plus, I don't ever miss from here.
No, that's why you do it. He wants the 10 ball to go more than I actually think it does go. Can't see a better way to deal with it. Didn't get his breakout first shot.
Yeah, I feel like he's got a little bit of an angle on the 15. I feel like he can draw back on the left side of the 12 ball and could have set himself up to go into the 10. I think he played this wrong.
Well, he can do the same. He can do the same thing going this way around.
Dude, it's a lot easier the other way.
It is, but there's more margin to get here. If he lands a touch straight, then you've got a problem. This way, you're guaranteed yourself an angle, and that's a beautiful shot.
He came out good on that.
Yeah.
It's scary because there's so much that can go wrong there.
Yeah. He couldn't miss the cannon. He couldn't not get the contact. It was just a case of would he get it on, and he did. He got it perfect going that way around. I think if he goes the other way and lands a touch straight, then you're forcing it. There was more control the way he went.
Yeah, absolutely. He might want this more than anybody else in the building.
Doesn't hit this break well.
Yeah, the 8 and the 11 are stuck. He did make a ball, and he will have an opening shot on something, but it's not a good chance. He's going to have to work hard for it at the very least. And he plays the opener pretty well.
Eight ball's the problem. Obvious to break it out, but when do you do it? Do you do it last, which is dangerous? But that's what the layout suggests. Maybe do it second last. Yeah, so just come through here, get yourself onto the 2 ball, and then just try and half ball off the 8 ball, and you've got the 5 in the side.
I was trying to figure out how to shoot the 6 in the right-hand side and bump the 8 out, but there's not really a good play there.
It is dangerous going the way I went. I'm suggesting just simply because if you don't get the half ball on the 8, then you stick and you hook yourself. But he's so close, you should have full control here to get that.
Yeah. It's just an angle, and he just needs to make sure that he hits the 8 ball and not the 11. If he contacts the 11, it may hurt his chances of getting to the 5. See, that was perfect.
Yeah. Now he was always going to have to play a cue ball because he was always going to send the 8 ball into not necessarily right onto the rail, but not onto a natural path for the cue ball.
Luckily, it's a pretty natural path. A little bit of left-hand English, 2 rails around. He's going to come out great.
Yeah.
So really a tricky start, but he's really done well to get this far and just needs the 8 ball to fall. And we're just about halfway through this match, and the score is only 2-1.
Well, it will be. It is.
Now it is.
Yeah, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. No, that was excellent from Joe. The break wasn't his best, but he still found the route, found the pattern.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be all you in this match, and he's going to have the opportunity.
Well, I mean, that's a pretty good start.
Should get these. Should get these. Really. What are you liking here? I feel my gut feel straight away was to go solids, but I think I can make a case here for the stripes. It's only really what, the 12 ball up there that's the issue.
See, and I was the opposite. My first thought was the stripes, and then I started looking at the solids more, and I feel like they have a play there, but
I think the reason I don't like solids, the first shot needs to be the combination at the top, and then you could go funny with that. So, yeah, but he does need to deal with the 12 and work it out from there.
Yeah, regardless, I think he's made the right decision for him, and he's made the right shot choice as far as which stripe to start with.
Well, he's played that 12 goes.
Yeah.
Then it was stripes all day long. There was no question.
Yeah.
No question or issues.
It's a little funny looking on the camera. It can be deceiving for us, but the ball definitely went, and it went pretty clearly too. So this is all of tic-tac-toe. Don't make any silly mistakes, and you get to tie the match up. And we've seen Cleve make those silly mistakes before.
Yeah.
So this will be a real settled game for him to get out here. He's able to cleanly run out a decent, layout. It's got to be a confidence booster for him.
Half a silly mistake there, just leaving himself a little bit too straight.
Luckily late enough in the run out that it's not going to cause huge issues. And not the strongest start, but here we are. It's 2-2, and we've seen two really good racks, one from each player. And that was an interesting break there.
Extension call.
Might be worth asking a question. So they might want to. Yeah, I'll ask her. I'm not saying.
And Cleve down on the table here. I mean, he made the ball, but he left himself really, really bad. That was one of those awkward mistakes that Cleve can't be making. Well, he makes a good hit there. He doesn't really improve his position, but we'll just have to see what happens. And this is just a really messy rack. Cleve's going to be hurting on that one because he's played so well the last rack, and then he just went and made one of those weird errors.
Yeah, we talked about it, haven't we? And they've been holding him back.
Yeah. And it's just a little bit of cleanup, just a little bit.
You can get away with it against, some of the field. Here we've got a great field because we've got such a varied amount from your league players all the way up to your elite players. You can get away with it against the league players. You cannot get away with it against the elite players. It's just not possible.
And I mean, if he makes it past Joe Prince, he cannot make those mistakes against Tom. That's a guarantee fact. So he's going to have to clean up his mistakes here. Gets another shot at the table, though.
That's good. That's a really good shot. Now he can do some damage. Well, decides he doesn't need to, so that tells us that the combination goes, or even the 15 goes. I think it's the combination.
Yeah, that 13 ball is still in a bad spot.
He can deal with it now, yeah. That's lovely.
For the mistake he made at the beginning, Joe returned the favor, and now Cleve's got a really good chance to get out of here.
Word for Christina Podolski, please. Table 28. Christina Podolski.
Yeah, he's played this well. I don't think there's any angle. Do you roll up and risk it, or do you just play it soft and shoot it in the side for the 8 ball?
Soft and shoot it in the sides, no issue. Or it shouldn't be.
Yeah, I mean it is a thin cut, but the angle of the ball really plays to pocketing it. So one of my favorite shots. Cleve Thompson's going to go ahead 3-2. He's been struggling with his break. He was trying out different break cues in different areas of the table, and he's really been struggling with it. He didn't break good in this first match, and he got a good spread, but he left it wide open for Joe.
He broke that really well, but no result. In fact, the worst possible result. A dry with a big split.
Yeah, I feel like the solids are what you want to take here, but not having much of an opener maybe forced him to go to the stripes.
Cleve was halfway to the table. Either that or he slipped off his chair, but I'm pretty sure I know he tried to style it out. I'm pretty sure he knew what he was doing. Controlled that well.
Bobbled it in too,
Yeah.
but got it in clean. Well, yeah, I've spent quite a bit of time talking with Cleve here and there at events, and even while he's back home, and I feel like one of the things that he does do really well is he's always aware of the clock situation. So in that 15-second shot clock, when he knows that he needs to get to the table and get down on a ball, he doesn't really play around a lot. For a big guy, he moves.
Yeah.
Maybe not the lightest on his feet, but he definitely moves, and he doesn't have a problem moving quickly.
That was a nice shot from Joe, just to float the good area.
He's really played that one good. Just one more solid shot is going to tie this up with exactly what you said, right around 6.5. That's a solid tie ball game. As soon as this 8 ball drops, we're in for a treat here.
Yeah, very good from Joe this time. Hard one that for Cleve, because he hit that break well. You know, he gets himself one in front. You feel positive. He comes to the table. You're like, come on, let's get this one, and doesn't get the opportunity he was looking for. But 3-3 with 6:21 to play. You try and spin the positive on it and take the next opportunity that comes your way.
Yeah, absolutely. Joe feeling really good.
Erica Keys, table 25, please.
Yeah, we've seen Cleve in a couple of 6-ball shootouts, and you know we've seen him do some of the social media stuff. He likes to get on the table and do the 6 balls. Do you know what Joe's record is, or what his times might be?
I don't know if he's been in a competitive 6-ball shootout or not. 8 ball's going for a ride. Not going to go in, but it's
goodness.
Yeah, that's as good a break as we've seen today.
These guys are breaking monstrous on this table. Greg Hogue has had a huge break. Now Joe Prince, Payne McBride, all had monster breaks on this table.
Half a shot to play. The transition from bottom to top, or bottom to middle of the table. I think there's quite a bit of room if he wants to play the 3 in the corner, but if he gets plenty of angle, probably just float up. If there is a lot of room for the 3 top left corner, I like it, because it gives you so much more control just to get onto the 5. But he's got the angle to come all the way up the table.
I like coming up a little further, because that way if you do come up shy or it doesn't go, you still have the 7. And
that was perfection, though.
Yeah, he's gonna.
What I didn't want to see was if he goes too far there. So let's say he goes an extra 3 rolls there, and he ends up, then he's going to have to move the cue ball again. That's why I say it all depends on how much room there was there on the.
I think the spot right here is exactly where he needed to be.
Yeah, I think he's slightly concerned that he might leave just a slightly funny angle on the 3, but it looks like there's so much margin. Yeah, not entirely sure what caught his eye, because there's nothing wrong there, was there?
Maybe trying to avoid having to cue over the 11. At the worst, I think. I mean, it's come out well. The story today has been all about the breaks. We've seen great breaks, we've seen bad breaks, we've seen golden breaks, and they've all been absolutely detrimental to every match that we've seen. This has been a crazy day of shootout action.
Well, he gets his opportunity.
And we might see some more here, guys. This is set up.
So there's one problem, but you've got the perfect ball to deal with the problem. So just a 1 ball at the top. A 4 does your work.
And this is just going to go back to what we've already talked about. Cleve has got to not make the silly mistakes.
Yeah. It's just get yourself good position on the 4 to make the cannon you require.
Played that one with a little bit more pace than I expected. He wanted the cue ball to move, but
could he not just draw that back out the table?
That's kind of what I thought. A smooth stroke.
Yeah. It's a good recovery. Doesn't want this cue ball to go too far, and it hasn't. That's a good angle.
This is a perfect angle. He just needs the good bump. It's perfect.
Yeah. Gets the left-hand side on. And see, it hits the cushion and just spins further left. If he plays that without the English on it, then it's about half the distance to the 1, and then makes that shot a lot trickier.
Yeah, this has been a fairly quick rack here. We're about a minute in, and he's just got to make 1 good shot and leave himself another. And all the stress will be on Joe. There's still so much time left. Like you said, that 3 to 4 minute mark is really a weird spot.
It is. It's just about, if assuming Cleve makes this. Let's talk the clock and the rack when they're being racked. And hammers it in. Excellent bit of cueing that from Cleve. He was just under it a bit more than he was expecting to put himself on the 8 ball there, but did well. Needs a ball. Does not get one. It's Cleve Thompson with the opportunity, and it's a good one.
Yeah, there's a couple of interesting balls here, specifically the 4 and the 9. I think for the run out, you have to try and take the solids based on the 7 ball.
Yeah.
The 7 and really the 5 as well.
Yeah, you've got the 5 on the right, which he might come back and deal with straight away. Yeah, which he is. And I'm with you, it's the 4-ball, isn't it? That's the one. Now the thing here for Cleve, can he run this and not leave time to counter? That's also a factor here. 153. So
he's already used his extension.
Oh, Cleve, don't miss early though. Don't miss early.
Well, this is where it's going to get tough because the stripes are not easy. The stripes are not easy at all.
I wonder whether the referee might step in and give Joe an extra couple of seconds there with Cleve just getting in his way. Cleve does take his time to leave the arena when he makes a mistake, something to keep an eye on in these sort of situations. But it is Joe Prince now with the opportunity. He just needs to make the finish now. The clock doesn't become a factor in terms of what he leaves. It's just making sure he doesn't overly slow it down for not getting there himself.
I'm just trying to figure out how he's going to deal with the 9-ball.
Just get back above it. I would have been tempted to come further down the table on that one and maybe leave this one as your connection back up to the top end to take it down. Oh no, he's going to scratch.
Oh no.
Can you believe it?
56 seconds.
There's time. There is time here. There is time for Cleve Thompson.
Cleve's a rusher. He's got to slow down. He cannot make another silly mistake with this much time, because I believe from here, if he makes a mistake up until about another 8 or 9 seconds.
If he makes the next 2 balls, then he can't be counted. We're at 30 seconds.
What do you think, 25?
He needed to deal with the 1. He's leaving a problem that the 1-7 don't connect.
So now we're in a situation here. If he doesn't leave himself a shot, we're going to a 6-ball
Yeah, we're going to a 6-ball shootout. There's no counter here, and yeah. Oh, he's made it.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my word.
Can he get there? 7?
The cue ball's not going to stop in time.
The dramaticism has been rampant here in Louisville. What is going on, son?
That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. What a moment to have a shot like that. What a moment to have a fluke. And
let's see. You know, Cleve's a believer in his 6-ball shootout.
That's a unique break, but wow.
He made a ball.
He made a ball. The only problem with that, he had to wait a long time for the cue ball to stop.
He's missed that one, but he's set it up in a situation where now he can kind of stop shot. You need to control the cue ball.
Tell you what, this isn't going to be. It's not going to be brilliant. It's not going to be quite where Tom and Sam were,
solid.
But it's solid.
He's going to be happy. Wow.
Oh, that's tight as well. That miss at the end is going to really, really hurt him. The referees might have a discussion on this one as well for an added 5 seconds. Yeah, I think the referees are just going to go and have a quick conversation whether that last shot was played with the cue ball still moving. Gut feel in real time was it was okay, and I think the referees have accepted that it is okay. So 31:18 is the unofficial time. Oh, it's brilliant. Best break of the day.
This is a good spread. Everything's... Don't want the cue ball to move a lot on this.
That's okay. This is where he gets the extra split second. He can afford that. He can afford a little bit here. And now just drop. He's in cruise control here. Don't miss, you win. Might have been tempted to go the other way around, but he was at that point in the table. Makes it, he wins it. Makes it, he wins it. And wins it, he does. Joe Prince went through the ringer in that match, but he comes out on top in a 6-ball shootout over Cleve Thompson, who played his part in the drama, but ultimately comes up short in the shootout once again.